This podcast is a proud member of Culture Box. Whether you enjoy geeky reviews, comedy, or original fiction, you can open up the Culture Box and find something excellent for your soul. Point your web browser to culturebox.media.
The Cellcast is recorded in front of a live streaming audience.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Cellcast.
Reactions.
Joining me today is a guy who just wants to be a good boy. Welcome, Jacob.
Well, I try to do the best I can. Why, thank you. Let me introduce our co-host. A man who is just a distraction. Welcome, Drew.
I know what you're referencing from the trailer, but I don't want to. I don't want to say the lines the shark says.
Yeah, no.
But anyway, we are today going to be reacting to a movie called The Bad Guys by DreamWorks.
Mm-hmm.
I know only what was in the trailers
Right.
for this movie. I know it's about the big bad wolf and a team of other
Anthropomorphic misfits.
Yeah. Well, the more nastier of the and sneakier of the animal kingdom. I know there's
spider, snake.
There's a spider, there's a snake, there's a shark. I think there's a couple others, but I can't think of what they are off the top of my head. And I know the wolf, who's our main character. I know he, at some point in the film, will, out of the goodness of his heart, be nice to a little lady. She'll say he's a good boy, and then he'll be wanting to switch to the good guy side.
Yeah.
That's about all I know. And hijinks ensue.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then something about a herd of guinea pigs.
Yeah. Is it a herd of guinea pigs? Like,
How else do you describe a horde of that size of guinea pigs? What is the group for What is the name for a group of guinea pigs? There's a question.
Yeah,
everything has a name.
Yeah, a group of guinea pigs.
A pin.
Pin.
That's a horrible name. I was hoping for something funnier.
A pin, a guinea pig.
A pen of guinea pigs. I was hoping it was going to be like, chimpanzees, that a group of them is a congress.
That's a weird congress. That's probably worse than our congress.
Sad. I would say that describes our Congress, but I think that would be disrespectful to the monkeys.
That is so true.
But anyway, that's what we're reacting to. And like I said, I know pretty much nothing other than it's the first DreamWorks film to come out since COVID.
Yeah, I agree. But I'm looking forward to it. It looks fun. It has an interesting premise, as far as I understand, after watching most of the trailers. And I know this was one of the films we kind of when the first trailer debuted, I know it was one of those that we were debating on doing a reaction to, and obviously we're doing a reaction now.
Yeah, this was one of those that was on our list of ones. This might be a reaction one if we can schedule it, and it just so happens we were able to schedule it.
Yes.
So yeah, we'll be reacting to that soon. And like I said, I'm just rambling at this point.
Yeah, that's fine.
But
yeah, just definitely looking forward to it, and we will be back, in however long this movie is.
2 shakes of a wolf's tail.
Yeah. Wolf's tail.
I just know the last movie I went to see that had anthropomorphic animals in it, in which one of them would be considered a predator. Was a Zootopia. And a sheep was the bad guy, and I didn't want to bring up the sheep issue here. Being 2 shakes of a lamb's tail and all that. Anyway, I am just rambling at this point because I literally know absolutely nothing else to talk about for this film.
Yeah.
I literally have not paid attention to trailers because it's like, well, this is one we're going to be probably reacting to very soon, because I didn't find out about this until February.
Really?
When we were getting ready to set up for the anniversary episode.
Yeah, that's right.
You put that on the list. It's like, I have no idea what this even is. And I watched it and thought, okay, this is hilarious.
Yes.
I'm going to watch this whether we react to it or not. But yeah, this is definitely one that looks like it's fun, but I literally know nothing about it other than the same trailer I've seen 5 times.
I gotcha. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah. So join us on the other side and we will get to talking about it. Do you like Star Wars? I don't just mean the original trilogy. Along with that, I mean the prequels, the sequels, the anthologies, the animated shows, and of course, who doesn't like Baby Yoda? Well, if you've been in the fandom for any length of time, you know how toxic the fandom can get. And if you'd like to be able to discuss a galaxy far, far away in a much more positive light, might I suggest searching out The Outer Rim, a Facebook group dedicated to all of Star Wars, and check out their YouTube channel, which you can easily find at Pop Americana, which the podcast you're currently listening to is also a part of. To find that and more, check out the link in the description. And we just got back from the movie theater. Jacob, what are your thoughts on this film? Spoiler-free wise.
Oh, wow. This is an incredible film that has just, like, animation-wise, so unique. So unique. It uses that more of a... I don't know how to describe it. I really don't know.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's 3D models.
Yeah, it's 3D models.
But the faces all have, like, 2D animation on top of them.
Yeah.
To handle the eyes and the mouth. Which... both works
and doesn't work,
and it kind of throws you for a loop. I'm still not sure how they did that with Mr. Shark, because he's got a big mouth, obviously. That had to have been modeled half the time.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
But yeah, his mouth still is just as and 2D animated as everybody else's is.
And you're talking about a story that is so interwoven, be like good guy, bad guy, good guy, bad guy, and it's just be like obviously. Like if you're paying attention to the movie, you know what's going on. Be like you see certain things that are going to pop up here and there.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of films at all, be like you're going to notice. Be like, oh, okay, here's your main antagonist. Be like, oh, here's an ally. Here's this, and be like some of the things you never saw coming.
And heck, both of us immediately knew who the villain was.
Oh yeah.
3 seconds after the character was introduced.
Oh yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's you. Mm-hmm. You're gonna be, but the thing is, it doesn't really matter that you know it's that person.
Mm-hmm.
It's still, even though you know it's that person, the ride is still wild.
Oh yeah, it is very wild,
especially with the identity of another character.
Yes, that was a nice, pleasant reveal.
Yes, it's hinted at throughout the film, but it never actually doesn't come out until it's absolutely necessary information, and I appreciated that.
Yeah, it wasn't one of those films you can completely predict.
Right, which is what all Gentleman Thief films need to be, which is what this is. This is essentially Lupin the Third, but with animals.
Yeah, agreed. And one of the ushers, we were coming out of the theater, someone described it as like Ocean's 11.
Well, actually, he said Ocean's 13, but
13, Ocean's 12, Ocean's 11.
It's all the same trilogy.
Yeah, that's true. It does have that same vibe. Like it has a little. I would hate to say, but like not hate to say, but it's got a little bit of like Fast and the Furious kind of motifs here and there. Definitely the Mustang GT, which is like, oh my gosh, yes,
you gotta have the cool car.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I should be like, this is absolutely. I love this film. Mm-hmm. Absolutely love it. I would highly recommend it to anybody. Go watch this. Yeah,
I actually agree with that. It's a fun film. It is technically a crime drama comedy in many ways. It is, like I said, it reminds me more of like stuff like Lupin the Third and there was some other Gentleman Thief thing I thought we watched, but I could be wrong there. It's fun. It will keep you guessing the whole way. Mm-hmm. I am curious now that we have seen it, if a second viewing we'll be able to catch even more stuff, because the mark of a good film that has that many twists and turns is when you still are catching new things that lead into those twists and turns that you didn't see the first time.
Right.
So I'm curious if there's that. So yeah, this is definitely going to come up on a review at some point.
Oh, most definitely.
But yeah, if you're wanting to, if you're trying to figure out if you should go watch the movie, that's an easy answer.
Yeah,
go watch the movie. Go
watch it now.
Yes. in the meantime, then, we will jump into the spoiler-filled section of our reaction to the bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
So, in order to do that, the following is a spoiler-filled reaction to the bad guys.
Ow!
Listener discretion is advised. Okay, quick question.
Yes.
At what point did you realize that the mayor was a thief?
Let's think. When she when her and Wolf are alone at the professor's house, and she pulls out the ring, and it's like, oh, okay, there's something this character's past. And it's like she's be like, oh, not everybody's good. And it's like, oh, okay, you have some experience with what Wolf does.
Yes.
It's like
that for me was more confirmation.
Yeah.
Because that first scene where they're talking out there in front of the statue.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I kind of got the feeling she was more aware of what was going. I think it felt to me like she knew Wolf was not. What was it, Mr. Poodleton?
Poodleton, yeah,
or something like that.
That was clever.
Yeah, you could almost you could tell she knew that was Wolf.
Yeah,
but was letting him, get hoisted on his own petard.
Yeah, leading the leash out a little bit.
Exactly. Let him get himself into trouble. If he manages to pull it off, well, that's great. But if not, well, she has to do what she has to do.
Yes.
In many ways, I think she was allowing it to happen because A, professional courtesy. B, she also was looking at she's kind of a fan of these things, having experience. But the thing that really tipped me off was when she pointed out, point for point, all the problems with the heist at the beginning of the film to him.
That
without
is true.
even actually acting like she's not even realizing she shouldn't know half that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It kind of just slips out because A, she's
true.
talking to another thief. B, specifically the thief that did all the stealing. But also, it's like she knows this stuff better than most people would because no one else in this film knows anything about a good heist.
Right.
Except for the people who are pulling the heists.
Yeah.
Because the good guy, bad guy motif is very much in here. There's a gray area, obviously. There's the idea that there can be a good redemption, but the people who are good guys at the beginning of the film, who are actually good guys, I should say, they wouldn't know what to do if you put them in the position that every other bad guy was in this movie.
That is
so
true.
The fact that she actually had information and knowledge of how all this can go down.
Yeah.
And acting like she had seen this happen a bunch of times just kind of stuck out to me. It's like, okay, she knows more than she should.
Yeah, she's showing her cards a little bit.
Right. That was the first part I noticed it. Of course, we both knew that like 3 seconds after
the professor
the professor, I can't think of his last name. The professor the professor who is a guinea pig was revealed to be the villain. He was introduced. We knew he was the villain because he was too smarmy. And he was saying everything very prepared like.
Yes.
Like he had thought it through a lot. So that was not a big reveal to me at the end because I kind of knew it was coming.
Yeah, it was very. It wasn't one of those be like, oh, we're plastering. Here's the villain. Yeah, but they're giving you subtle hints. It's like
subtle hints, and it doesn't reveal until he reveals himself to the bad guys. That reveals the whole plan. You get the whole here's what was actually going on. Here's segment of his master plan, and
he's running his monologue.
He's monologuing.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's monologuing again.
Oh, this movie is so good.
It is. It is very good.
It does everything that this genre of film does. Almost runs it too close to the formula, but at the same time, it's just like that's kind of what I want for this.
Yeah.
It's still good, family friendly. There's surprisingly, despite the fact a lot of guinea pigs get eaten, there's no death in this movie.
No,
even though
none.
they really just kind of like, I think they went on. I think they're in a better place. Poor guinea pigs. Okay, this is something that confuses me about the guinea pigs.
Okay.
Every guinea pig that was part of the mind control horde was obviously a pet of another.
Yeah, or was it an experiment?
Of other humans, yeah. And the experiments.
Yes.
But also Professor Marmalade, that's his name.
Yeah, Marmalade, yeah.
He's also a guinea pig.
Yeah. But he's controlling the guinea pigs.
Except he's sentient. The other guinea pigs we see throughout the film are not.
That is true.
Also, the cat that he saves, literally a save the cat moment, does not appear to be sentient either.
Yeah, it's just a cat.
It's just a cat. It's just a normal pet cat. Where's the what? This is the goofy Pluto problem. Why are some animals sentient and some animals aren't?
Yeah.
That's my question. And how do you know this just by looking at them, other than the sentient ones are anthropomorphic?
Right.
I was half waiting for the cat to be
start-
revealed to be in cahoots with Marmalade about near the end of the movie. I was expecting that to happen. It never did.
it never materialized, and then he kind of
Especially since they went to the trouble of picking him back up. Now, I think that was an afterthought.
Yeah.
Because there's only like one other scene where during that chase, they actually go to the trouble of showing the cat in the car with them. Most of the rest of the time, you can't see the cat. And the only other time you see it is when they make that big turn and everyone's... it looks like they're getting thrown out of the car. The cat does get thrown out, but Wolf catches it, and when it comes back, he puts the cat back in the car.
Yeah.
I think that must have been like a last minute, like, we need to have the cat for the end of the movie, so we need to at least show him get the cat. And plus, it's a nice moment, him getting the cat back.
And plus, did you hear what Wolf called the cat?
I missed what he named the cat.
Wolf.
Oh, Wolf. Okay.
He called the cat Wolf.
That works. It kind of makes sense. But yeah, this film is just excellent. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's got there again. It's one of those. It's a spy thriller. The Gentleman's Thief, like you said, like Ocean's 11 kind of film, and just has so many little twists and turns of be like, oh, this person's playing the villain, but they're really playing the good guy. They're doing this and this. There's so many nice twists and turns to how the story progresses over time, and the Snake's redemption. Not his redemption, but kind of he knew he was a good guy after all.
I was about to bring Snake up because his character arc throughout the whole thing, I think, is the most interesting. Because Webbs, Shark, and Piranha, they have an arc, but it's very much they're the background characters.
Yeah, they're more like support characters.
They're not the main characters. The main two are really Wolf and Snake. Wolf obviously is a lot more keen on becoming a good guy from the beginning,
right?
But he's Wolf. He's like half dog, essentially.
Yeah.
He's almost predisposed to becoming friendly, being a good boy.
Yeah.
We'll say. Snake, on the other hand, has got a little harder.
Yeah.
And he even goes into his backstory saying, why he doesn't like birthdays is because it's a constant reminder to him of his childhood when no one would come to his birthday parties because they'd just be scared of him and see him as, an evil thing. But, you can even tell there at the beginning after they take the picture, he's still being a grumpy Gus. But when he puts the picture up there on the refrigerator, you can just kind of see the start of a smile before the camera changes.
Yeah.
And then you get to what I consider one of the stupider scenes in the film, but it leads right into Snake's redemption.
Yeah.
They all feel the shiver and their
parts
start to wag. The shark's fin wags, the tarantula's thorax.
Yeah, thorax wags.
And I guess it's the fins on Piranha that are starting to do that. And you can kind of see Snake's tail starting to do that, but he puts it down. And the reason I say it's stupid is because I don't think any of those parts really make sense for it to do that. Plus, I don't know about you. When I feel good, I don't wag my butt. It's a nice. The reason it works for Wolf is because he's a dog.
He's got the tail.
And when a dog feels like a good boy, he wags his tail because he's happy.
Yes,
that's how it works there. It doesn't really work for the other animals.
That is true, but it's more more symbolism and all that.
Yeah, and I let it go for that. It's one of those things I look at and go, hey, I get it, but I wish y'all could have put more thought into it. And so the next time we see Snake after he leaves in a huff is looks like he's working for Marmalade. Mm-hmm. But in reality, he's playing Marmalade throughout the whole thing. And I kind of knew that was going to happen just because of tropes. Mm. But the way they actually showed how he went about tricking the agreed, to get all that set up, I thought was great. Mm-hmm. And
all the setup.
Yeah. And Snake's still a grumpy Gus by the end of the whole thing. But, that's just who he is.
Yeah.
He's grumpy. He's still he's still a member of the team. They're family when you get right down to it.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the real reason Wolf couldn't leave him.
Yeah.
Because actually, stupid question. Mm. They're pulling up to the police station, or they're coming up on it.
Yeah.
To drop off what we now know is a lamp.
Yeah.
But they think it's the meteorite. Did they know it was a lamp?
Then probably not.
You get the feeling they don't know it's the lamp, but when you think about it, the ending doesn't work even with Wolf. Wolf has no way of knowing that that's a lamp either at the end of the film until someone goes, hey, this isn't a meteorite, it's a lamp.
Yeah, the police chief does that.
The police chief does that. And I'm looking at that going, but that means if y'all had turned that in, you would still be
arrested for theft.
Yeah. Without turning yourselves in, because they still won't know where the meteorite is. Technically, at the end of the film, they don't know what happened to the meteorite other than they see the giant psionic explosion on the edge of town.
Right.
But anyway, I mean, that's a weird little moment, but I kind of accept it because it is what it is.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's a fun movie. It's good. I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to watching it again, and we're definitely going to probably review this, I'm guessing, next year.
Probably, or sooner. Who knows?
Maybe.
Who knows? My little gripes about this film was when we get the city was hit by a meteorite, and that's where the meteorite be like is a symbol of hope or a symbol of love or whatever for the city. I'm thinking like, wait a minute, a meteorite that large strikes a city, and it's completely fine except for a massive crater.
Yeah,
and like everything's perfectly fine.
How much death occurred when that meteor hit?
Yeah,
I mean,
well, granted, it's a kids' cartoon.
Yeah, and I can kind of accept, like, yeah, they might have been filled with despair for a hot minute, but then it's like, oh yeah, in Marmalade turning it around to being, oh, this is a good thing because it's a symbol of love and hope for the city and all that, but still. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's a weird plot point just to have an excuse
for a heart-shaped meteor.
For the heart-shaped meteor to be there. You could easily have that hit outside of town and do the same thing without putting in this idea. It's like, well, how many people died when this thing hit?
Yeah. I do like the idea that there is this massive meteor crater within the middle of the city. I love that.
I love the visual of it.
The visual of it, but the explanation of it just really doesn't really pan out.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's cool, but be like, it should be like a desolate area because a meteor that large is going to destroy everything.
Yeah, granted. I do have one issue with it, though. Has it not rained in this town since that meteorite hit? Because if there was any sort of water, including, I don't know, the water mains that would have been under that part of the city, that crater should have water in it.
Yeah, it should be
at least some standing water in it. I'm not thinking it needs to be a lake yet, but there should be some standing water in that crater, and there isn't.
Yeah.
How interesting would it have been to see that meteorite just floating in the water when they went and looked at it?
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, agreed.
Granted, there's not a lot of water in this film, and it could be that water might be a little hard for the method of animation they were using with that faux 2D, 3D look they were going with.
Right. And plus all your anthropomorphic characters are our main characters are the only anthropomorphic characters in the entire film. And most of your
there was a couple others, but they were all background.
Okay.
They're like far in the background. There was never any like only Fox, the Fox and only a couple of them were actually, and mostly it was the main cast that was anthropomorphic.
Oh, okay.
I want to say I remembered seeing in some shots there being some other characters, but I get the feeling that this film may have had more anthropomorphic characters in it had COVID-19 not caused probably some production problems.
Possibly.
Because I can easily see them just saying, we need a crowd shot, let's go back and pull a bunch of random models from previous stuff and put in here so we can have a crowd. I wouldn't be surprised if characters from How to Train Your Dragon and Shrek and all them are littered throughout those background shots that we just can't see because they're not foreground
characters. Yeah.
And you have to remember with any animal like character, especially if they're furry, that's more processing time to have to animate because of the hair replication. There's a reason that Webb's only her thorax is furry. Yeah. And it's not just because that's how spiders work. It's because that's easier to animate.
Yeah, agreed.
Even their legs aren't really that furry, even though they're not. Fur. They don't really move in the wind. Because it's more, this is going for a more 2D look, which I'm sure is actually easier to animate.
Yeah, agreed.
But anyway.
Yeah, overall, this is an amazing film. Maybe the naming of the characters were maybe a little too simplistic.
I get the feeling, I saw that this was based on a book during the credits. So
I
have a feeling they did not have a choice much.
Probably
with
not.
The names.
Yeah.
So Wolf, Mr. Shark, Mr. Tarantula, Mr. Snake. For one thing, that's actually kind of pulling off of Reservoir Dogs, I think, where they had Mr. Pink, and all based off color. All the names were based off colors. I believe.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
So I think that's more of like pulling from that aspect, but going with their animal names.
Yeah, true.
Except
it's a little too on the nose, but
except they let Webbs have her own name.
Yeah, Webbs and Wolf and Wolfie.
Well, Wolf is still Mr. Wolf.
Yeah,
you get right down to it.
Yeah,
and she technically would be Miss Tarantula because she is a tarantula, not just a spider.
Yeah, she's Miss Tarantula.
Right, but they just call her Webbs.
Yeah,
which honestly, that's very cute. Having your hacker be a spider.
Yes, clever.
She's good at manipulating the web.
Very true. Very clever.
Very clever. Very cute. Less cute. Actually, no. I actually do get why the shark is a master of disguise. Do you want to know?
Okay.
I think it's actually a throwback to an old, and I mean an old Saturday Night Live skit.
Really?
There's an old Saturday Night Live skit from back during the days of when Chevy Chase and Dan Aykroyd and all of them were on the cast.
Okay.
The right there, before it was even called Saturday Night Live, when it was still just being called Saturday Night. There was I think during like the second or third season, because I watched a bunch of the old ones, there was a skit where, you'd hear a knock at the door, and whoever's apartment it was, which would come up and say, "Who is it?" And they'd say, "Oh, I'm such and I'm the plumber," or something other. And finally they'd say, "No, you're not. Who are you really?" And they'd go back and forth. And finally he'd say, "Land shark." They go, "Oh, land shark, right?" And they open the door, and the land shark attacks them.
Okay.
I think it's a throwback to that because he's a shark on land, and he looks like he gets to be whatever he wants to dress up as, and nobody bats an eye.
Yeah, I found it very unique. Be like the shark. Be like there again. He's master of disguise.
Yes.
Be like he disguises himself as
the father of one of the scientists,
and he totally buys it.
And he buys it. I'm going, I miss. Are you half shark?
Yeah.
That should. I can at least get like the lady he's dressed up as in the beginning heist. It's like, okay, you're a lady shark.
Yeah.
granted, I don't know enough about. Sharks are technically fish, so they have eggs.
Yeah.
So her water couldn't have broke.
Mm-hmm.
She was a female shark.
No, if I remember correctly, sharks be like they birth. Be like
it's a live birth.
It's a live birth, yeah.
Because they are fish technically. They lay eggs and then the male comes around and
does his thing,
fertilizes them somehow. But it's all outside of the body. It's not like mammals, which is what he's pretending to be.
Yeah, it's a little weird. It's a little weird. It's a funny scene.
It's a funny scene, but at the same time, I'm looking at it and going, he said subtle.
Apparently, Shark knows nothing about subtlety.
Well, I pretty much go with that. I'm just glad they did not. I'm glad and both not happy that they didn't go with the Jabberjaw reference. Granted, they probably couldn't do too much because Jabberjaw would be Warner Brothers, but they never even went curly with him in any way, shape, or form. Because it's like you could have just given me a little nyuk 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 in there somewhere because of Jabberjaw. But anyway. If it was Warner Brothers, they'd have done it and wouldn't have batted an eye. Yeah. But anyway.
Yeah, overall, this is an amazing film. Definitely want to do a review of this at some point, either this year or next year. I'm looking forward to that. I will be definitely, when this movie comes to
home video.
Yeah, home video. Its physical form. I'll definitely be buying it.
All right. So, that's been our reactions to The Bad Guys. I think it's safe to say we think if you haven't seen it, why are you listening to our spoiler review reaction part? But
exactly. Go watch the movie.
Go watch the movie. Either way, it's a fun movie. You'll enjoy it. Hopefully it will do well. I haven't actually looked to see how well it's been doing, but we enjoyed it. So I guess in the meantime, this has been Drew.
This is Jacob.
And we'll catch you in the next frame.
You can follow Jacob on his Facebook at Jacob B. Heron. His Facebook page, Jacob's Daily Art Corner, where he tries to draw each and every day. His Instagram at Jacob B. Heron. His Twitter at Jacob Heron. And his Letterboxd at Jacob Heron. You can find Drew on Facebook at Drew Dodgen. His Facebook page, Drew's Photo Bin, to see his photography. His Letterboxd page at GGeorge759. His Twitter at GGeorge759. And Instagram at Drew Dodgen. You can like us on Facebook at the Cellcast Podcast, on Twitch at the Cellcast Gaming, on YouTube at Cellcast, on Twitter at cast_cell. The Cellcast can be found at Apple Podcasts, Google Play Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, or anywhere else fine podcasts are downloaded from. Please rate and review us where you found us, and also on Podchaser. Email us at thecellcastpodcast@gmail.com. The Cellcast is a proud member of both the Pop Americana and Culture Box media networks. For more information, please see the link in the description. Our theme song is Drop and Roll by Silent Partner. And remember, that's Cell with a single L.